I'm excited to talk about some of the work that IFF's Real Estate Solutions team has been doing in the Chicago metro area to support emergency and transitional housing operators. IFF works with a wide range of nonprofits, and we've been working with emergency housing for decades. There's a lot of facility challenges in planning emergency housing projects. One is that zoning codes often require that nonprofits obtain a special use approval. This means that communities can decide the number of beds, the hours of operations, and the services being provided at a shelter. And if they don't support it, these facilities can't operate in communities. This is often a lengthy process and can be really challenging for nonprofits if they're not able to obtain these special use approvals. In some cases in the Chicago metro area, zoning approvals haven't been possible, and in response, shelter operators have partnered with religious institutions to develop a rotating shelter model. They have in-house individuals move to a different location each night because they haven't been able to obtain these zoning approvals. This makes it really hard to pair other services like healthcare, job placement, and workforce development with individuals when they're moving each night to a new location. During the pandemic, many emergency and transitional housing operators had to pivot and stop using these congregate models in partnership with religious institutions. But an opportunity happened, and many shelter operators started leasing motels temporarily. This showed that non-congregate shelters where individuals have a private room has a much better outcome than working in large congregate settings. And it improves the security, the dignity, and it also expedites the transition into more stable housing. IFF's goal is to create permanent fixed site shelters that won't shut down if leasing funding disappears. Many of these operators previously relied on free donated space and using volunteers to support their program. It's a big shift to move to owning a building and having full-time staff. IFF has been working with operators to plan for facility needs, to identify the capital to buy and to renovate buildings so that they can be good stewards of these buildings for the long term, and also to understand the operating model if they're going to own and have staff full-time to operate these locations. What's exciting about this work is that IFF is working not just with nonprofit operators, but also partnering with local municipalities. Local municipalities are using their American Rescue Plan Act money to acquire and renovate these buildings in partnership with these operators. Recently, Connections for the Homeless in Evanston and Housing Forward in Oak Park acquired former hotels using funding from the Cook County ARPA program. While our focus the last 18 months has been in Cook County, we're now exploring work to support housing for new arrivals, housing for the reentry population, and the potential to support non-congregate shelters across the state of Illinois.